guys, what's up? It's Matt, and I'm taking a look at these JBL 104BT speakers. Now, these are the newer version of the 104 speakers that are non-BT, and all that means is these have Bluetooth where the other ones don't. So if you're interested in saving a few bucks, I'm going to post a link to those down below, but they apply to this review as well, at least according to JBL's representative I talked to make sure that, hey, are these the same speaker other than Bluetooth? And yes, they are. Now, first order of business is coronavirus is going on right now, and there's things like Tiger King that make us all happy. If you haven't seen Tiger King, I've seen it 2 times, and I can already tell you the 3rd time is going to be the best time I've seen it. Go watch Tiger King. It's totally worth it. It's like a train wreck. You can't stop watching it. But anyways, about these speakers, let's jump into it. I'll cover a few things about it, but of course, if you have any questions, be sure and post them down below. And especially if you're an audiophile, stay tuned to this channel because I would probably appreciate somebody that knows a lot more about studio reference monitors to be able to help somebody than me kind of telling you what I think. Audio is subjective. That is clear. We all hear a little bit differently. We have different tastes for sounds. We like different sounds. So this is all based on my audio subjectivity and opinion based around that. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to tell you what I think about these, but that doesn't necessarily mean you'll agree because I can tell you I don't agree with some of the people that talk about these either. The first thing I did was kind of write up a little scale for myself to listen to the highs, the lows, and the mids, and tell you what I think. Now, if I were to rank the bass and the lows on a scale of 1 to 10, I gave it about a 7 out of 10. The main reason for that would be because when I listen to it like electronic music or dubstep or anything like that, the bass gets a little muddy and cloudy sounding, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that. But in retrospect, when I listen to something orchestral, that like a cello playing, it is very clean sounding, very beautiful sounding, and I do like that. I also found it kind of odd. I was like, basses, it just depended on what you were listening to, and I tried to range my audio sample pretty well on that, but, it was like sometimes, yes, amazing sounding, and other times I was like, nah, it just gets kind of muddy. The mids, to me, are the best. That middle range of sound, it's very clear, it's very clean, everything comes out sounding great, and there's a lot of people that say the mids are lost on these, but I don't agree with that at all. I gave the mids about a 9 out of 10. And the highs, at higher volumes, especially in smaller rooms like where I've tested these, you get kind of a loss at the higher volumes, and it sounds a little bit tinny, a little bit tingy. I don't really know. I just kind of lose the feel for the highs at higher volumes. But for the most part, the highs are pretty good, and they are clean, clear, and crisp, and I gave them about an 8 out of 10. Now, these speakers have a massive volume range. We are going to pause here so that you can listen to them with what I have on hand in the office here, which are Audio Engine's A2 Plus speakers, and while they're not true reference monitor speakers, and in a different kind of weight class altogether, they were the closest thing for comparison I thought I could be able to share with you guys, so I did record them. Both speakers are set to about 60% of their onboard volume, and the computers are set to 100%. Now, there was a definite noticeable difference in which one sounded louder and clearer at that same setting, and that was the JBL 104BT speakers. Anyways, we'll pause here, you take a listen and see if you can tell. I do know that I'm recording this over a microphone, the AKG Lyra microphone, which is a very decent microphone. Go check that video out. And it's going to be you listening to a recorded speaker over that microphone via your own speakers. So it's hard to tell, but the objective goal is to listen and see if you can kind of compare differences in what you hear in that recording. I hope that helps. Anyways, check it out. Now, the 104BT speakers feature a 4.5-inch driver with a 3/4-inch tweeter. Now, the speakers are one passive speaker and one master control speaker. On the master control speaker, that's where we have our options to swap through the different inputs or setups it has on it, including Bluetooth on these speakers. There's also an all button that you can switch to all so that it's ready for all of that. Now, one interesting and nice thing about these speakers, which we're seeing in most speakers these days now anyways, is the low power standby mode. So while there is a tactile button on the back to turn the speakers off, it does go into low power standby mode, which is great. So just to recap on that, there's a lot of well-rounded connectivity with these awesome speakers. On On the back we have inputs for RCA, so you can go RCA to 3.5mm, which is what we started doing with one of the projectors, and I would listen to Pandora over it or watch movies on it. I really wanted to give them some good break-in time and listen to them a lot to see what I thought of them. There's also TRS balanced on the back, which is great for people that want to go TRS to XLR on a mixer and do some mixing and be able to test and fine-tune your audio editing project. And JBL actually marketed the Bluetooth part of it, which I thought was kind of clever. You know, like, if you didn't just want to go Bluetooth to listen to it, say you're somebody that's mixing audio, making this music, and you want to know what it sounds like for somebody that might have your song played over Bluetooth, that's a way for you to sample it with the compression rate that Bluetooth puts on audio files. So you can listen to your own creation over Bluetooth on the speakers after you're finished, exported, made it, whatever, and then you can go back and listen to it and see what they might hear over a Bluetooth recording. Now on the base of each speaker is a nice rubber foot. They hold the desk really well, they hold the table really well, and in the case of being on our projector stand, they hold the dresser really well. Also, I do wish they included things like RCA to 3.5 or TRS to 3.5 or TRS to XLR. That's probably a little more of a stretch of a request, but things like that, some extra cables. If you have the ability to provide it to somebody, let them have it so that they can use that. Small thing that I wish it had would be the ability to remove the grill. I don't like having a grill on my speaker, and that's a small aesthetic thing personally to me. And while you could probably take these off, I don't think it's easy to do, and I have not tried it. But I would like the option to remove the grill or a removable grill, something that just pops off. The speakers are actually quite light for their size. The master speaker weighs 4 pounds 11 ounces, while the passive slave speaker weighs 3 pounds 14 ounces. For the most part, I'm pretty thoroughly impressed with these. And again, if you're somebody that Bluetooth doesn't matter as much to you, check the link down below because I'll put the non-Bluetooth ones on there. And if you don't want the whistles of the bells and whistles, just drop the whistle off and save you some money because they're the same speaker. Anyways, you guys have a great day, night, whatever it is. Don't forget to go watch Tiger King while you're on quarantine or isolated. It's definitely worth it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. You guys have a great day, night, whatever it is. I'll see you in the next video that I do.